let's read this article. Microsoft CPO says she fundamentally disagrees with the idea that people shouldn't study computer science, right? So, about 3 minute read. So let's read this. This is by Sarah Perkel, or Perkel, depending on how you say it. So, this is Microsoft's chief product officer. Says she disagrees with the idea that people shouldn't study computer science. Aparna and Chennapragada. I apologize for butchering the name, but Microsoft Chief Product Officer of Experiences and Devices says people should keep learning to code. Computer science isn't dead, she said on a podcast, and engineering roles will endure. For project managers, she said editing and taste making would be more important than ever. So she doesn't. So the CPO, the Microsoft CPO, doesn't buy the idea that coding is on its way out, as some people have been saying. Like I think Mark Zuckerberg probably says, "Oh, we're not going to need developers anymore." The Microsoft CPO disagrees with that. Too big. All right. So a lot of folks think, "Oh, don't bother studying computer science, or the coding is dead," and I just fundamentally disagree. The tech giant's chief product officer of experiences and devices said on Lenny's podcast. I never heard of Lenny's podcast, but that's where this information is coming from. Says, if anything, I think we've always had higher and higher layers of abstraction in programming. Despite fears that AI could ultimately render software engineers irrelevant, or at least materially cut down on job openings in the field, Chennapragada believes that AI only adds a further layer of abstraction in the existing process of programming. Says we don't program in assembly anymore, she said. Most of us don't even program in C, and then you're kind of higher and higher layers of abstraction. So to me, there will be ways that you will tell the computer what to do, right? It'll just be at a much higher level of abstraction, which is great. It democratizes. Me and these multiple syllable words, I tell you. She said that it was possible that in the future we would think of software engineers more as software operators, but the role itself was unlikely to disappear. There will be an order of magnitude more software operators, she said. Instead of software engineers, maybe we'll have software operators, but that doesn't mean you don't understand computer science, and it's a way of thinking, and it's a mental model. So I strongly disagree with the whole coding is dead. All right. As for the fate of project managers who are subject, like many other middle managers, to big tech's great flattening, the CPO expects them to endure a bet with modified responsibilities. Taste, she said, will be more important than ever. In some sense, if you look at it, there's going to be a supply of ideas, a massive increase in supply of ideas in prototypes, which is great. It raises the floor, but it raises the ceiling as well. In some sense, how do you break out of these times that you have to make sure that something that rises above the noise? So she didn't respond to a request for comment by Business Insider. AI makes it easier than ever to actualize an idea, she said, which means that sifting through the glut of ideas will be especially important. So project managers will need to further develop what she calls the taste making and editing instincts. So as you saw in in our last working segment using Google Stitch, we pretty much laid out a UI UX design for the interview assistant app. And we gave it and I just thought about, oh, what about the options so that you can interact with a real person? And boom, it created us a screen for that with pricing, with the scheduling and everything like that. So now we can take that app and say, okay, I need give me an MVP idea. You can start working on it as a team. You can start prototyping and stuff like that. So I see that there is a lot of, I understand what she's saying. So in a world where the supply of ideas, supply of prototypes become even more like in order of magnitude, not magnitar, but magnitude higher, you have to think about what is the editing function here. Because it's so
The
much.
sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
we're just about done. So because it's so much easier to get started, she says that she observed less of an instinct to automatically turn to a project manager for approval. So basically, you can just like prototype something really, really quick, like, oh, let's see how, yay or nay, and you don't have to run everything past a project manager for approval. Though final approval will become more important than ever, she believes PMs have to earn the right to judge. There's an interesting side effect I'm observing in startups that I'm advising companies, and even within the companies, that there used to be more there used to be more gatekeeping. I would say in terms like, oh, we should ask the product leader what they think. Paragda said, um, and again, there is a role for that editing function, but you have to earn it now. So that's basically it. That is basically the story. We should not just quit studying computer science, according to the Microsoft Chief Product Officer. And I pretty much agree with a lot of things that was mentioned there about the layers of abstraction, and how, software operators versus software engineers. I think that they're still going to be needed. They might have some different functions, different roles. I think AI is there to help tremendously in all that good stuff. Right.